keeping in mind that you do not sell what you sell and that the customer or client is only interested in the result of what you sell, what needs will or can your product and or service address or deliver? Read along through the list of examples on the following slides. Ability to conform or comply. Comfort. Additional market exposure. User-friendliness. Brand or market awareness. Entertainment. Peace of mind. Enhanced image. Increase in margins. Time savings. Cost savings or reduction. Security and protection. Simplification or clarification. Sourcing skills and expertise. Creation of additional business opportunities. Creativity, imagination, or problem-solving skills. Ease of access, improved organization. Fun, excitement, pleasure, and team development. Improved customer or client experience. Improvements in performance. Improved knowledge or increased wisdom. Increased customer activity or traffic. Maintain or stay within a budget. Individual and or corporate prestige, image, or status. Physical and mental health improvements. Productivity gains. Safety concerns or additional protection. Raw labor or skilled talent. Remain or become more competitive, a competitive advantage. Storage and or retrieval of tangible, intangibles, or information. Superior method for performing a task. Technical know-how or innovation. Additional convenience or elimination of inconvenience. Advancement that improves life, technological or other. Avoid, minimize, or eliminate errors or mistakes. Become or remain cutting edge in their field or industry. Benefits and advantages of education, experience, and expertise. Expedite or accelerate processes, turnaround time, or delivery of products, services, or information. Methods to communicate information and ideas in a variety of formats, audio, visual, digital, live, etc., in a timely manner that meets quality standards. When you change the way that you think about your profession and the results that you can deliver to a prospect or the desired outcome that they may experience, you will begin to think differently about how to walk through the sales process. The secret to mastering this approach in your sales strategy is to work backwards from the need to asking the most appropriate questions in order to have the client reveal those needs. Questioning strategy, key points. It doesn't matter what you, the sales representative, think. It only matters what the prospect or customer thinks. You should be focused on creating comfort and getting the prospect or customer willing to participate and open to sharing information that identifies opportunities, lowers sales resistance, and gains acceptance of your proposed solution and/or solutions. Objectives. To have the prospect or client reveal or imply a need and then develop that revealed need or desire for improvement into a concrete selling opportunity. Uncover or reveal multiple needs to strengthen the desire for change or improvement, establish value that outweighs price and/or perceived inconvenience, and build a strong case for acceptance and prospect or customer commitment. Everything that we have covered to this point has been leading up to the 4-phase questioning strategy. As the name suggests, this is a strategic method for asking questions during a client interview. Phase 1 questions are intended to open up a dialogue by encouraging the prospect to offer general information about the current state of affairs. The purpose of Phase 2 questions is to identify issues or challenges that exist. Phase 3 questions focus on the consequences associated with identified challenges. And the intent behind Phase 4 questions is to have the prospect open up regarding the positive difference that a change would mean to them. Phase 1. Employ the various questioning techniques learned in this module and ask a question or questions that encourage the prospect or customer to speak about what they are presently experiencing or not experiencing. Your goal is to uncover what is going on, happening, what they are doing or not doing in the present. There are several ways of approaching this, which can include drawing out their perspective and/or opinion, thoughts, feelings, or educated guesses, drawing out the perspective and/or opinion of others, thoughts, feelings, or educated guesses, uncovering facts by asking about first or second-hand experience or having them produce recorded results and/or documentation, having them explain in detail, the complexity of which will depend on your industry and the products, services, and/or solutions that you sell, step by step, what is happening or being done now. Draw out enough information to ensure that you clearly understand the present state of affairs. Be cautious not to belabor or exhaust this phase of the questioning, otherwise the client may become restless or annoyed and begin to throw up barriers. In addition, you may not allow enough time for Phase 2, 3, and 4 questions. An excellent way of doing this is asking open-ended questions such as, "Please tell me about," "Can you please explain how you are currently doing?" "Would you please describe the current method being used for?" To complete the process of, "What steps do your staff currently perform?" Most salespeople do this to some degree as part of their ice-breaking conversation. They will learn a little, just enough to be cordial, and then go on the offensive and into selling mode. Advancing to Phase 2 requires discipline and attentive listening skills. Phase 2. Employ the various questioning techniques learned in this module and ask a question or questions that encourage the prospect or customer to speak about the drawbacks, shortcomings, challenges, issues, gaps, inadequacies, deficiencies, inconveniences, undesirable consequences, and/or the illogical nature of what they have offered you as a response or responses to your Phase 1 questions. Your goal is to uncover their pain or perceived pain. However, rather than tell them, your tactic is to have them tell you. If there is no perceived annoyance, frustration, agitation, dissatisfaction, etc., then there will be no motivation or reason to consider a change, improvement, or an alternative. In addition, it will be impossible for you to build value into a solution or selling opportunity. Specifically, what are the bottlenecks, inefficiencies, losses, interruptions, etc., created or incurred by their present situation or method or lack of method? Draw out enough information to ensure that you have clearly established and acknowledged that an issue or issues exist from the prospect or client's perspective. An excellent way of doing this is asking open-ended questions such as, "So what is the result of blank?" "When your staff do blank, what is the outcome?" "Do you consider blank to be bad, negative, undesirable? Why?" "Is blank an issue for you? Why?" It is critical that you resist the temptation to interrupt once the prospect opens up and begins sharing. You may know, or at least think that you know, what is wrong or needs to be fixed. Problem is, people don't like to be told or sold. When they tell you in their own words, they hear themselves acknowledge the problem and take ownership of it. Execution of this phase is a skillful art that requires discipline. Phase 3. Employ the various questioning techniques learned in this module and ask a question or questions that encourage the prospect or customer to speak about how and/or who the previously mentioned issue and/or issues hurt and in what ways. Your goal is to identify the costs, consequences, or extenuating circumstances surrounding the pain. How is what they are doing, not doing, or experiencing having a detrimental effect on them, on their department, on their staff, on their systems, on their customers, on their costs, on their productivity, on their reputation, and so on. These costs can include financial in several ways, including profitability, shrinkage due to theft or losses, overages and scrap, productivity, image, morale, attitude, non-compliance, etc. Review the corporate and organizational goals. Only the most elite and talented sales professionals will successfully execute this phase, which is critical. When the prospect freely admits that they are suffering, they sell themselves on the need for a solution. The greater the costs or consequences are from their perspective, the more motivated they become to take action. Phase 4. Employ the various questioning techniques learned in this module and ask a question or questions that encourage the prospect or customer to speak about how they would like or envision things improving or evolving. Your goal is to have them speak about the positive difference that a change or improvement in the current situation would make. The responses to your questions in this phase should help strengthen your position, add value to the solution, and simplify the justification of your recommendation. The more willing that the prospect or customer is to participating in this process and offering assistance or highlighting the outcome of a potential solution and what it means to them directly or indirectly, i.e. their staff, department, the company, the customers, etc., the lower the degree of difficulty in gaining acceptance and a commitment. They become a motivated buyer because they have sold themselves on the solution and feel they played a major role in the decision because it was their idea. An excellent way of doing this is asking open-ended questions such as, if price were no object and you could wave a magic wand to resolve blank, how would you do so, or what would it do for you? Followed by, why would that be important or of value to you? What difference would it make if rather than doing blank, you were able to do it in a more productive or more efficient manner? If you were able to do blank rather than blank, what kind of cost reductions would you anticipate? Why would that be important to you? If you were able to introduce a system that eliminated the need for blank or sped up the blank process, what would the difference mean to your business operation or your customers? In facilitator-led workshops, I quickly realized that only a few select exceptional people could grasp this theory and transfer the information into everyday practical application. The only way people were able to get full benefit was to have them prepare for and engage in a role-playing exercise. In order to retrain your brain and develop new habits that employ the 4-phase questioning strategy, 2 commitments will be necessary. First, you must commit to consciously putting these skills into practice. For many people, this requires a noticeable change in approach. Therefore, it is recommended that you do not practice in a situation that has the potential for significant loss. If you use these skills with an existing account, don't be surprised if they notice. Actually, It is good that they notice. It means that you're working towards positive change. Secondly, study this process further. In the Documents folder of this module, there are 2 resources that you can refer to. One is a written script that provides an example of how these skills might be used to sell sales training. The second is a recorded audio based on the written script. I recommend that you download the audio and listen to it as many as 50 to 100 times until you can recite it. Although the repetition will seem monotonous, the principles will be reinforced, and just like commercial jingles or the theme song to your favorite television program, you will get the basics memorized and seamlessly weave them into your daily communications. This concludes step number 7 of the learning path. Please click on the green Next button with the white arrow in order to advance to the next step.